My name's Terence and welcome back to Rusted Iron Ranch. I know it's been a while. The Christmas period got pretty busy, and to be honest, with a few projects taking a little bit longer than I thought they would recently, it's only just quieting down about now, and we're well into April. So I thought I'd start doing a couple more videos again. And we're going to start off in pretty much the same place I started last year with my first video. What we're going to do today is do a bit of disc harrowing. Last year we did the scarifying of the two paddocks that I ended up seeding with ryegrass. This year I'm using a Disc Harrows, which I'll show you in a minute. And I'm also then going to use either a set of spike harrows, which you can see there beside the old Land Rover, and I'm probably going to use that spike roller, which I'll introduce in another probably video. So like last year, I already did this paddock here, so I've ran the Disc Harrows over that. It did a really good job. There was pretty good moisture in the soil as I was going, so it wasn't too hard on the tractor. It's probably about the tractor's limit, I'd say, with the Massey 135. I guess they're about 40 something horsepower. It's, as you'll see in a second, it's a decent sized Disc Harrows. It's a Massey one as well, but it does pull it through the ground pretty well. Result I'm really happy with. I think after a few runs over with the Harrows and maybe even the smudge bar I used last year, we'll get a nice flat paddock. Last year it didn't look too bad, but when I came to actually cutting, raking and baling, I noticed how rough the paddock was, because I scarified up and down the paddock, and I never went over it on a 45 or anything like that to smooth it out. There was a real pronounced row to the cultivation. So this year I want to really smooth it right out, because it was a real rough ride going across the paddock. If you were going down the paddock, it was fine. As soon as you turned across with any of the baling equipment on the back, it was just bumpy as. So this year, trying to get a bit better seed bed for that, and then hopefully it's not as rough when we go on to the other processes. Alright, we'll go over to the tractor and I'll show you what we've got going on there. Okay, so here's the Disc Harrow. It's a Massey Ferguson 34 that I bought probably 10 months ago or so. I've been looking out for one of these for a while, and one came up local, and I ended up picking this up for 500 bucks, which is an absolute steal. It's in really good condition. As you can see, it's still got the stickers on it. You can still see there the original Made in Australia boomerang, which is on a few of the other pieces of equipment that I've got. All the discs are in really good nick. Bearings seem really good. Only downside to this model, which doing a bit of research, is it doesn't actually have grease nipples on any of the bearings. You actually have to disassemble it to repack the bearings, which I probably won't have to do for a long time, because I'm probably not going to use it a hell of a lot. It's only going to plough a maximum of, say, 20 acres a year, so I don't think I'm going to wear it out in a hurry, so not too worried there. So yeah, that's the Massey 34 on the Petrol 135. What we'll do now, I'll pull it out the shed, we'll go over into the next paddock, and we'll see if we can't start disc harrowing up a bit of that. Another really good result from doing this one I noticed was the amount of weeds that had already started coming up. They were just getting chopped up and overturned. So I think we might not have as many weeds come up this year from last year's spraying, plus the fact that the Disc Harrows is actually flipping them out of the ground and like bare rooting them. And we've had a heap of cockatoos on here. Like, I reckon there was a couple of hundred out here, maybe even, I don't know, 500 on just this paddock here yesterday, and they just keep coming in and they're eating all the seeds and I guess the roots of everything that's upturned. So maybe they're doing a bit of work for us as well. Alright, we'll get the 135 started and we'll head out into the paddock. MF135 warms up, I'll just talk about the weights on the front. Now, like I said, that Disc Harrows is actually quite heavy and probably about on the limit for this tractor. Hydraulics lifted it really well, but the steering was really light. So I think last year you would have seen I put the weight frame on in preparation of getting some weight, and I actually now have some weights. They're just slid on the top over the top rail. They're actually not fixed at the bottom, but I found if I put them all the way to that side, they don't move anywhere. I've got a little project happening in the shed of working out how I can fix them on the bottom, but I haven't finished that just yet. So for the minute, I'm just running them clipped over the top, and they haven't gone anywhere yet. They don't seem to be chattering too much, but I will fix them at some point. Okay, so I'm probably about half done. I've actually just run out of fuel with the tractor, so I'm probably going to leave it there for today, for the video at the least. As you can see, it does a pretty good job. A little bit uneven in spots. I'm just going around in a clockwise fashion, just because the torque of the actual the Disc Harrows wants to make the tractor turn right, so it's easy to turn right, obviously. The only thing with that is, where you do turn right, it actually doesn't do a great job. So once I've finished going around clockwise, I'll actually just do a cross pattern from corner to corner on the 45 to pick up all those bits that I've missed. So, like I said, with that, we'll leave it there. Next time, I'll bring you back and we'll probably look at running that spike harrows or the spike roller over the top. But until then, we'll leave it with that. If you like this video, be sure to give the thumbs up. If you want to see more, be sure to subscribe. I also like to say I really appreciate all the views, likes and comments over the break. That's been really much appreciated, and yeah, keep it up. Once again, my name's Terence. This has been Rusted Iron Ranch. Thanks for watching.